several developers are making a bid to build a casino on Coney Island.
Plus, 2,000 new apartments in East New York are expected to ease the affordable housing crisis in Brooklyn. Brooklyn Borough President Antonio Reynoso joins us this morning with more details on that project. So good morning, Borough President. Thanks so much for being with us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
This is exciting news. Coney Island could soon be home to a casino. So how soon could we see that happen? And are you backing this idea?
Well, we have quite a bit of ways to go. The RFP just went out. There was a submission by a proposal that was put forth for Brooklyn. We don't really know how long this is going to take, but even after the proposal is given to any one operator, it might take 3-4 years before we see anything of fruition. Regarding the proposal, we got to be very careful, but Coney Island has one of the highest unemployment rates in Brooklyn, and the economic development opportunities that existed when Coney Island had 5 million visitors, 10 million visitors per summer. It's just not happening anymore. So if there's an opportunity to revitalize it, I want to entertain it. So I'm open-minded. I want to see what the proposals look like, and I want to make sure that we put Coney Island residents first. But it is exciting to see those type of opportunities coming to Brooklyn.
Yeah. All right. Well, Borough President, there's also a plan on the table to prevent developers from rezoning and pushing out longtime residents in neighborhoods like Williamsburg and Bushwick. We've all heard the term gentrification. I mean, how likely is it that the City Council is going to adopt that plan, and what impact is that going to have on the casino's plans?
Look, I doubt something like that would happen in New York City. You know, we, unfortunately, in some cases, I guess I won't say unfortunately, in some cases, we've been defined by the way we build in Brooklyn and New York City. And I just don't see how the City Council would be able to move forward with any proposal that extremely limits the development in this city. But we have to talk about the people that are not building. There are areas in New York City that haven't seen a rezoning or building since 1964, since 1969. And those are people or areas that are not contributing to the greater good of housing development, of development in general. So if there's a way to ask everyone to contribute, I think folks like Williamsburg, Bushwick, and East New York, who do all of the housing development right now in Brooklyn, would feel like the burden to get us out of this hole, this housing crisis, doesn't fall just on them. It falls on all of us. And that's not happening right now. It's the same type of neighborhoods that keep building, and other neighborhoods that are left completely out. So if there's a proposal to encourage other neighborhoods to build, I would be supportive of that.
Well, speaking of new developments then, right before the Thanksgiving holiday, the City Council voted to approve the innovative Urban Village, which isn't only about affordable housing, but an affordable lifestyle for low-income residents. Can you tell us a little bit about that? What is that going to look like?
Yeah, well, Innovation Queens is going to be the largest development in Queens that we've ever had. So this is going to be something very visibly, strikingly visible for the folks in Astoria that are going to be developing. But it's a comprehensive plan. The council member did an amazing job at negotiating not only for affordable housing, but to make sure that the resources that folks need when they move into these places are there. It's about the bodegas or the supermarkets, the schools, the parks, and just making sure that it's comprehensive. And it's not just about building, it's about building community. And they've done an amazing job to negotiate it. So I'm really happy it moved forward. And I think that the City Council is starting to set a tone as to what type of development they would like to see. And Innovation Queens is one of those that are setting the table, the model for what we could be looking forward to in the future.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you've made maternal mortality a main priority for your tenure. You started by upgrading the birthing facilities at 3 public hospitals in Brooklyn. You recently launched a healthy pregnancy public education campaign. So what are you hoping to accomplish with that particular campaign?
Well, thank you for that question. It's arguably the most important thing that I'm doing as a borough president. Right now, Black women die at 9.4 times the rate as their white counterparts during childbirth and the year after. And I want to change that. In a city like New York City, in a borough like Brooklyn, we shouldn't be having third world or non-developed country numbers when it comes to birthing. So what we've done is given $45 million to the 3 public hospitals in Brooklyn, in Woodhull Hospital, Coney Island, and Kings County. I want to make Brooklyn the safest place for any woman to have a baby within 4 years. And if I get the luxury of being a borough president for longer, I want to make it the safest place in America to have a baby. So we've done a lot of work, some marketing campaigns, education campaigns, and the infrastructure work to really start changing that number and seeing a reduction so that there is no inequities when it comes to childbirth here in Brooklyn.
Yeah, and I'm sure you want all of your Brooklynites to have a voice, right? So if they want to get involved in these types of activities to push them in protecting their communities, they now have an opportunity, right, for applying for community boards. Can you talk about what the requirements are, when the application deadline is?
Well, the only thing that you need to be is 16 years old. So we reduced it from 18.
Wow.
You could be 16 years old and join the community board because we want to make it younger. Community boards tend to be skew a little older. And also you need to be able to live, work, or play is what we're calling it within the district you want to represent. So don't come from Long Island and think you could be in a community board in Brooklyn. But hey, look, if your church is in a neighborhood in Brooklyn, if you work in that neighborhood in Brooklyn, you can participate in the community board. You have to be able to touch it one way or another. But we're really excited about the diversity and how many young people have recently applied. And the community boards are amazing places where people could start engaging on local community matters and really feel like they have a voice in the changes that are happening in their community. So we're really excited about the application process, and it's opened up.
All right. Well, and tomorrow, Giving Tuesday, and Brooklyn residents are going to have a chance to give back and fight food insecurity. Tell us about the event taking place tomorrow in Crown Heights.
Yes. So we're really excited. I don't know if anyone went to a food pantry during Thanksgiving or right before, or were giving out turkeys or food. These lines were around the block. There was one line in Bay Ridge that was 2 blocks long. And when you look at that, you're happy that we're able to give to folks. But the big concern we have is the line shouldn't be that long at all.
Yeah.
We should be able to have folks that are food secure. So tomorrow we're going to be doing work in Crown Heights, where we're going to be working to close the gap on food insecurity here in Brooklyn. So if you can, during Giving Tuesday, find an organization that's doing something related to food security, because it's really going to make a difference. And we hope the lines are a lot shorter next year when we're giving out these turkeys and this food for families during Thanksgiving.
It is the season of giving. And speaking of giving back, there is a small Brooklynite making a huge difference because of his love of a particular vegetable. I think you might know who I'm talking about. Have you met Tariq? 7-year-old boy. He's known as the corn kid.
I haven't yet. It's unbelievable, but we're gonna find him. Trust me. Brooklyn is very grateful to him. But it's absolutely amazing. We're extremely grateful for the amazing Brooklynites all over Brooklyn. And of course, it's the greatest borough in the entire city of New York. So of course he would be from our borough.
Oh, Brooklyn proud. That's so wonderful. Brooklyn Borough President Antonio Reynoso, thank you again for checking in with us this week.
Thank you so much. And don't forget to spread love. It's the Brooklyn way.
All right.
We will.